76 is the exact number of days OpenAI had successfully prevented their four horsemen of apocalypse from assembling together, even after OpenAI's immense efforts to delay other AI labs from achieving what their reasoning model O1 can do, with sussy methods like hiding the model's thought process and having you pay for tokens you can't see. This band of Chinese reasoning models has suddenly popped out left and right to join the battle. Not only can they nearly replicate what OpenAI has done so far, but one of them has even published weights for you to run low.
Let's not forget Sam Altman's round on the internet, making sure he tells people that he never created AGI or that it's not even in existence. Maybe in another 20 years.
Locally, which is a first. Ever since OpenAI's O1 has been released, the topic of scaling AI has shifted from stacking more layers to using more inference time compute, or test time compute for TTC. This means on top of running your typical models to answer a question, the model would generate more text tokens to ponder and reach an answer. If you want to find out how that actually helps, I covered it in a previous video. Anyways, a few weeks ago, the blue whale, aka DeepSeek, was the first one to join the battle by publishing DeepSeek R1 Light Preview, a reasoning model that also ponders like a budget philosopher. With its main appeal being transparent thought process in real time, it was definitely a bit personal. If you use both O1 and R1 side by side, one definitely offers a better experience than the other, but performance-wise, DeepSeek R1 Light Preview, as its name suggests, is a lightweight model that's still in its early preview stage, and they most likely have rushed it to show it to the world, so it's not better than OpenAI O1, of course. For example, I gave this basic reasoning question calculating how many days are between September 12th and November 27th, and with the answer being 76 days, O1 Mini, which is the faster and cheaper version of O1 Preview, got it right 4 out of 5 times, O1 Preview got it right 1 out of 5 times, and DeepSeek R1 didn't get it right at all. The outcome may have been expected, but O1 Preview getting 1 out of 5 definitely caught me off guard. So me being unsure, I asked GPT-4o. It told me that it is 76 days. 5 out of 5 times. Yeah, right guys, so much for test time compute scaling law. And I actually don't know how many times I recounted the answer manually because of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus 2 plus 4. Yeah, it is 76 days. And as you can see, I am actually going mentally insane, and that was not the plan. So allow me to tell you about today's sponsor, MapMood.ai, to cool down a bit. Are you sick of paying ChatGPT, Claude, and Midjourney $20 each every single month? What if I tell you there's a place you only need to pay $10 for to access all these models? MapMood.ai is an all-in-one platform that provides you access to all the top-tier text generation models, image generation models, and web search functionalities, ranging from Claude, GPT-4o, Grok.
Now we got Mammoth.ai. Before was Ninja Chat. Mammoth.ai.
Mistral, Llama, Gemini, Midjourney, Flux, Stable Diffusion to DALL-E. All you need to pay is $10 for all of these models, which is already cheaper than paying for any one of their monthly subscriptions. So if you want to save some bucks while being able to use all of these state-of-the-art models, definitely check out MapMood.ai using the link down in the description. And thank you MapMood.ai for sponsoring this video. Alright, I feel slightly better now because I'm just a chill guy. But why does O1 underperform so badly in action, yet they claim reasoning is the next front? But why video? Alright, I feel slightly better now because I'm just a chill.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to snip that real quick. The chill guy. I'm gonna make myself a meme. Hell
Guy. But why does O1 underperform so badly in action, yet they claim reasoning is the next frontier of AI and O1 is the smartest model in the world? Well, that may have to do with how AI reasoning works. In a really recent paper called LLMs Do Not Think Step by Step in Implicit Reasoning, as you can see from the title, the typical GPT-4o or ChatGPT we're used to does not inherently perform step-by-step reasoning implicitly. In their ablation experiment, they found that these models might be using a form of intuitive or direct reasoning similar to System 1 thinking, which is faster and more systematic. This suggests that the model has a heavy reliance on intuition and memorization, making it less reliable for complex tasks. So by having an explicit chain of thought where the model generates and displays intermediate reasoning steps, it provides more room for AI models to improve their accuracy. This method potentially shifts the model from relying purely on intuition and memorization to actual reasoning. That means if it's a question style the model has never encountered before, which is code out of distribution data, it'll still be able to solve it if it can be reasoned out. The effectiveness of step-by-step reasoning has been proven time and time again, especially when the model was also trained on performing thinking processes. For example, a reasoning-based model O1 can achieve 83% on Math Olympiad problems, while GPT-4o, which uses implicit reasoning, only gets 13%. Or just think about how chatbots tend to answer better when you give them more context. It's kind of the same principle. But the reason we only see huge improvements in math, coding, or logical reasoning is that these domains have infinitely more layers within the out-of-distribution data compared to other fields. For example, in math, there are infinite ways to set up and solve problems, like how Karl Schwarzschild used math.
I said it earlier when the prime time was doing a dev breakdown. It's better to utilize the AIs for what it does the best at. So GPT can make one hell of a CSS file. So that's like a CSS dev right there. You don't even need to have the best model. It's just you good at regurgitating CSS you tell it to. Claude could be something that's perfect for writing down new scripts when it comes to film industry and stuff, because it could intake a lot of data. Like you could put a whole novel in that motherfucker and tell you to make a script off of that. That might be the end all be all for Claude. Like it may not be able to be a code agent. Devin looks like it could push things to fucking production very, very well. You may have to break it down into different tasks with different agents, but you could definitely send some shit to Devin and go away for like 4 to 8 hours. That shit will be like, no, it won't be done. Devin still has some quirks to fix, but utilizing things to their strengths is gonna be better for like what AI is supposed to be.
To predict the existence of black holes without even having a telescope. He literally reasoned it out of existence using math. So if test time compute can push AI models towards system 2 thinking, AGI might actually be sooner than I thought. And the reason why GPT-4o is still so system 2 thinking
System of thinking, slow, deliberate, analytical mode of cognition, requires constant.
AGI might actually be sooner than I thought. And the reason why GPT-4o is still so powerful is that the question I asked is still within its capabilities. But if I ask it to solve the Riemann hypothesis, O1 or its grandkids will probably have a better chance of solving it, as it is a question very out of distribution, since we don't even have the answer. It's just that TTC may have a long way to go, seeing that it still cannot count when I tried it. But with these AI labs announcing their models and promising to release papers or even publishing the weights, the progress is going to accelerate. In general, I would take most of the benchmarks, especially the reasoning ones, with a grain of salt, because
I think it's always funny how we think that the computer is broken or that it's not smart when we really don't even understand the process of the NLP, natural language processing. If we knew how computers communicated with each other and how binary and all of the languages that they speak in made sense, I'm pretty sure we'd find out why they do things in their own sequential order, or some of the, I guess, fallacies of the way we think. Cause I know for sure them niggas don't hallucinate. Them motherfuckers is saying that shit for a reason. We just don't know what's under the hood.
reasoning is certainly harder to benchmark, but DeepSeek's model does show promising performance, and in some aspects, it is comparable to OpenAI O1 preview on their benchmark, of course. You can try out DeepSeek's reasoning model R1 right now completely for free with 50 messages a day. Just a few pointers: you can input PDFs, unlike OpenAI O1, which still doesn't support it after 76 days. However, R1 has a problem with a pretty strict context window limit, so when I put in paper, it was only able to parse about half of it, but the quality of the summarization is pretty good. I did a quick blind test. GPT-4o got first, DeepSeek got second, Claude 3.5 third, and Grok is fourth, but got first, DeepSeek got second, Claude 3.5 third, and
DeepSeek beat out Claude. See, I gotta check out DeepSeek then.
Rocket fourth, but this result is just based on my own preference. DeepSeek also published the scaling law of their experiments with reasoning models so far, which seems pretty aligned with what OpenAI has previously predicted. As for the other releases, Quo by Quinn is probably the most hype, with them actually releasing a model, Quo 32B preview, which I am definitely going to experiment with in the future. Benchmark wise, it's an absolute pleasant surprise across the board, especially given that this is the first model with performance this strong paired with a parameter count, which is 32 billion parameters. So now we have a good idea of the scale that the TCC models operate at. And since the model is open weights, we got some pretty good third-party evaluations. In this benchmark by Wolfram Ravenwolf in the MMLU Pro CS category, Quo at 8-bit EXL2 quantization overtakes Llama 405B, Mistral 123B, and even the latest GPT-4o in these tests. Keep in mind, this is a quantized 32B model, so even with a debuff, it still looks really promising. On Quill's official evaluation, in 2 out of the 4 benchmarks, it outperforms O1 Preview, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, these two companies, Quinn and DeepSeek, are the companies you really should keep tabs on in 2025. On the other hand, Marco O1 and Lava O1 were both released between DeepSeek R1 and Quill, with Marco O1 being an attempt at applying Monte Carlo tree search as the search method for test time compute, with the base model being Quinn 2 Monte Carlo tree search as the search method.
Yo, Alibaba, it's crazy because Amazon's Claude is backed by Amazon, but Alibaba, they just a conglomerate in China itself. Like them motherfuckers have every AI distributed to China. They more the government than the government themselves.
Method for test time compute, with the base model being Qwen27B. This is probably one of the best documented MCTS search we've seen so far, with a model we can actually play with. On the other hand, we have LLaVa-CoT, now renamed to LLaVA Chain of Thought. It is a vision language model that aims to perform systematic and structural reasoning on vision data. It decomposes the answer generation process into 4 structured reasoning stages: summarization, visual interpretation, logical reasoning, and conclusion generation, which is definitely a first for vision tasks. So now, if you give it math problems with diagrams or images with objects, this chain of thought process can drastically improve performance. Theoretically, because they haven't released a model, but the chain of thought method outperforms its non-chain of thought counterpart by nearly 9%. This is achieved through fine-tuning unstructured data in a novel inference time scaling method called stage level beam search, where the AI generates multiple options at each stage and evaluates their quality, then pick the best option. This does give me hope for models being able to explain a graph or a diagram for me, because right now that's something all LLMs are still struggling with, and TTC might be able to help with that. And before I end this video, let me show you guys this research that aims to replicate OpenAI O1 called O1 Journey. In part 1 of the research, released on October 8th, they introduced a new training paradigm called journey learning, which synthesizes long reasoning processes. They also proposed the first model to successfully integrate search and learning in mathematical reasoning. On top of that, they released a part 2 paper a few weeks ago, which found that replicating O1 through distillation works pretty well, essentially training on the generation outputs of O1. I have a video about what distillation is, so if you want to learn more, you can check it out. And yeah, the search process that they have incorporated includes trial and error, correction, backtracking, and reflection, making this the first effective documented approach for complex reasoning tasks. So this is definitely a good paper to read first while we all wait for DeepSeek and Quinn to release their technical reports or papers. And if you like today's collection of papers, definitely check out my newsletter, where I cover the latest and the hottest research papers that I might not even have time to make videos about. It is a weekly issue that contains both the latest AI research breakdowns and news, so don't miss out. Thank you for watching. A big shout out to Andrew Laschelius, Chris Ledoux, Deegan.
Yeah, we want to tap into the paper, 'cause it's always good to stay ahead. Subscribe to it. All right. Let's see what the comments got to say. Replication romance. How long till DT replicates O3? Recon. I'm gonna say give it till next month or the start of the new year. They'll definitely want to hit the new year with a bang. Definitely want to hit the new year with a bang. That's why they released it quick. The number of days 77, the number of days between 75. Coin is insane locally. Okay. Nah, yeah, coin. I wish I got a chance to use coin. Coin is the smallest coin is insanely best since that's all I can run locally. Yeah, I'm this guy. My computer hardware is not good enough to run the coin with all the parameters. Nonetheless, BuyCloud always gives us some of the best videos. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna be there for the next one.